are going to go fill up a free library, and then we are also going to go book thrifting. I want to go fill up the free library first because I feel like since it's warm, so many people will be out and about wanting to read a good book, and I know that that's not something that everyone has the privilege or access to. I actually just came out of the library, which is obviously an incredible place to get books, but I feel like the library is an incredible resource, but one, you have to have like access to get there. And I know that this library in my town is downtown, but if you don't have a car, it could be a pretty long walk from some areas. And also you have to have the ability to get back to the library to drop off your books. Now I will say that the library is so nice now, especially because they don't usually charge for late fees, at least at my library. I think they stopped doing that at a lot of libraries after 2020. So it is really nice because you do have the ability to take your time, and you can, take the books back kind of at your own leisure. But again, it's one of those things, if you have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, you might not have the ability to get back to the library as quick as you want to. So I ended up picking up some books from in there. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little book haul of all the books that I grabbed that I'm going to put into the free library, and then some of the books that are off my shelf that I'm unhauling. So these are the books that I picked up from the library that I purchased. They have a library book section, and I think the oversized paperbacks are $2, the smaller paperbacks are $1, and then I think something else 50 cents. At least it used to be. I don't know if the price went up, but I picked up 11 Other Words. This is a 5-star read for me, and it's a book I read every single year. I'm not even kidding. I read every single year because it's that good. It's a story that is a second chance romance. It's very nostalgic. If you want to read about first love, I feel like you should definitely read it. It's a very cozy read. Again, I read it once every single year. It's a 5-star read for me. And then I also picked up Keep Me by Sarah Kate. I haven't read this book, but I like to add in lots of different types of books into the free library because I don't want them all to be cutesy, or you know what I mean? I want them to be different types of books. So this one is more of a spicy romance, which you can tell from the front. It says, Killian Barclay is a grumpy Scottish billionaire who hates me, and now I'm his wife. I also picked up Gone Tonight by Sarah Pickanin, and this is a thriller. I figured someone would really enjoy this if they don't want to read romance, and I've read The Golden Couple by this author and really enjoyed it. And then I also picked up The Heart Principle. Have not read this book, but I have read one book by this author. And again, I like to add in diverse authors into the free library so people can see themselves within the writing. I picked up these 4 books, and they were only $8 for all 4 of them. And you guys can see they are in incredible condition. This one literally still has the Target sticker on the front. And so, yeah, I was really excited to grab these. But I also have a bunch of books of my own that I plan on unhauling as well. The free library is pretty big, so I want to fill it up with as many books as possible because it's actually right by a school, and it's a school that I feel like would definitely benefit from the books. So I grabbed River Sing Me Home, and this is, I think, a Caribbean story. I think it's also historical fiction. So again, adding in different types of genres, adding in Dead of Winter. This is supposed to be a really good thriller, and I am adding this one in because, not that I don't want to read it, but it's literally a winter book, and I'm like, do I want to wait until winter to read this? I feel like in the winter, I'm not usually leaning towards thrillers. I usually am reading Christmas books. So also adding in Heat of the Moment. I love Brianna Dennehy's books, but I am finding that if a book is a novella, I'm not as excited to read it. I'm also putting in Going Toe to Toe, and I've read one book by this author, really enjoyed it. But again, this is just one I haven't really been gravitating towards, and anything that's on my shelf is something that I want to read. I'm super, super, super excited to read. I don't really keep anything that doesn't really pique my interest right when I look at it. Also, unhauling this one. This is a book that I actually got in a PR package, Unhauling Park Avenue Summer. This is a historical fiction. Unhauling Church Girl, not because I need to read it. I literally read it, but I bought this book whenever I was in Vegas. I just was in the mood to read it. I ended up buying it, and I have it on my shelf already. So unhauling that one, but I hope someone loves it because I love that book as well. I rated it 4 stars. Unhauling The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartman. Jennifer Hartman's books sometimes are a little taboo for me. I have read, I think, 2 of their books, and I was just I didn't dislike them, but I also wasn't obsessed with them either. They're like very much taboo. Also going to Unhaul when in Rome. I've read Beg, Borrow, and Steal by this author, and it was cutesy, but I feel like if I'm looking for a cutesy palette cleanser, there's so many other books that I feel like I'll gravitate towards. I'm very big on like reading books that are like in the moment, like that just came out. And there's so many like palette cleanser type books like that. Not that I don't think that this would be a great book. It's just, you know, you gotta pick and choose what you decide to put in there. Also, The Handmaid's Tale, love the show, but I just don't know if I'm gonna get to the book, at least right now. And I feel like if I want to read this book, I can easily get it from the library because there's so many copies in there. I've never read anything by Eric Jerome Dickey, but I've had this book on my shelf for a while and I haven't read it. This is Liar's Game, and I do want to read a book by like the classic authors that so many people are obsessed with, but I just have not been gravitating towards that one. Night Road by Kristen Hanna. I have another book by Kristen Hanna on my shelf, and I've read 2 books by Kristen Hanna already. I think 2. Yeah, 2. I read The Nightingale and The Four Winds. Really love them, but I just have one other book, The Great Alone, on my shelf still, and it's pretty thick, so I don't know if I would get to that one soon. The Veiled Kingdom, I've heard that this is an incredible fantasy, but I have not been in the fantasy mood for a very long time. I'm not really a fantasy girl. This one does have spice. It's like more of a romantasy, and I also am not a big girl who loves spice. Like, I like spice, but only if it like really adds to the plot, and I think it's supposed to be pretty spicy. Also Unhauling Capone 3, not because I don't want to read it, I literally do, but I bought it twice. I didn't realize that, so I already have one copy on my shelf, so I'm gonna unhaul this one, and then obviously the 4 books that you guys saw. So we're gonna go take these over to the free library and fill it up. This is what the free library looks like right now, which is so wild because I used to fill up this free library and it was always empty. And I remember sometimes people would be like, oh, I think that people are just taking the books and they're not actually reading them and they're reselling them, because every time I would go back and it would be empty. But I think that people just need a little bit of inspiration to like do something good. So yeah, I have a bunch of books all down there I'm going to put into this free library. Library is filled up. Let me show you guys what it looks like. So I tried to put diverse reads towards the front so people can see them whenever I close the free library. And then I also have these in the front here, but there are books out there as well. Oh no, not it falling over. And I put the larger books down there at the bottom. So yeah, this is how it looks, and I love how it turned out. Let's go do some thrifting. A huge stack of potential contenders, and then there's some that I just like don't think I'm gonna get, but I want to show you that I loved when I was a kid. So The Inheritance Game, this is a book I've never read, and I found it in here, and the prices are really good. The paperbacks are only $1.59, and I'm thinking about getting that. I also found some books that I loved as a kid. This book right here reminded me how much I love this series, and I literally forgot about it until now. I feel like there's so many books I read as a kid that I just don't even remember reading at all. This book I also loved when I was young. It's like a scholastic book. I remember reading it so fast. It's Pictures of Hollis Woods. Also was obsessed, absolutely obsessed with the Full House books. Comment below if you guys loved any of these books. I love finding out books that we all loved kind of around the same time. And then this was a movie I really loved. I didn't even know this was a book, but I'm thinking about getting this because the movie was so incredible. I remember watching it on my DVD like over and over and over. It was very, very good. Guys, they have all the classic books in here. I think that this was one of my favorite books as a kid. It's called Just Ella. And it's funny because it's a fantasy book and I loved this book growing up, but I am not really a fantasy girl now. Comment below if you read different books now than you read as a kid. I loved romance as a kid, but I also was like really big into lots of different types of books, like historical fiction, like all the things. And it's funny, like I feel like I kind of read mostly one thing now, like mostly romance. I do obviously dabble a little bit into other things, which is just so funny how that works as you get older. This was another book that I loved, and I read this book way before it was like a Netflix show, and so whenever it came out as a show, I was like obviously super excited about it. But I remember reading this and telling people like, please read this, it's so good, when I was younger. And then whenever it became a show, it was like a really like full circle moment for me. I remember reading this too, and I think this book is like about a girl who's struggling mentally. And sometimes I just want to think back, like every book we read was so sad. Like everything had like some kind of like heartbreak in it. Like I remember reading Sarah Dessen, and literally Sarah Dessen walked so Colleen Hoover could run, because her books were so hard hitting. And I remember reading these and just like sobbing while reading them. And it's so wild because I feel like so many of us like had a tough time in high school and or reading all these like super hard books. It's like someone needed to give us like a fluffy palate cleanser to put us in a good mood. I also think that I'm probably the only person who has never read Harry Potter, like literally ever. I don't ever have any interest in reading it either, but I think I'm the only person who hasn't read it. I feel like everybody else like knows the lore. Like people will be like, what's it, family? Like, I don't know. Like they'll be like, are you Hufflepuff or whatever? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like I genuinely have absolutely no idea. They have so many good books at this thrift store, like a Reese's book club pick, and I already read this one. This is another Reese's book club pick. I just feel like everything in here is just it's top tier. My mom had us read all of these books as a kid, like the great illustrated classics. We had every single one of them and read every single one of them. This is giving me flashbacks in probably the worst way, because I feel like anytime you have to read something as a kid, immediately you don't want to. But if like this wasn't a part of something I felt like I had to do, maybe I would have wanted to read it more. But yeah, it would be interesting to go back and see how I feel about these books now. These were another set of books that we had to read as a kid. I remember my mom reading a lot of these to us, and then we read some ourselves. I ended up getting 3 books, and I want to show you guys what I got. I decided to come outside because you guys know, if you've been here for a while, that I love reading outside, and I think I'm going to read for a little bit out here just because it's so nice. I feel like, I don't know, it's so easy to take for granted the weather when it's actually nice, and whenever it's like fall or winter, whenever it gets really cold, wish for summer, but when like summer or warmer weather is here, not actually take advantage of it. So I'm really excited to give you guys this haul because you will not believe how little I spent. I spent $5.24 for the total, and the subtotal was $4.77. Each book was like $1.75, and obviously I had to pay tax and stuff, so that's pretty good. It was definitely a reminder to me that I need to go thrifting for books more, because I don't do that nearly enough. I feel like I always in my head think that I'm not going to find good books when I go thrifting, just because the options sometimes can be a little limited, but the fact that I got 3 books for $5 and some change is wild. So that enough is reason for me to like at least check the thrift store next time that I am planning on buying books. So the first book that I want to show you guys that I got is The Inheritance Games. Now, I have 3 books, but I don't know if I'm going to keep all of them. You guys know I love filling up free libraries, and as you guys saw, that free library that I filled up is not completely full, and it's by a high school that is, I don't know, would just probably need those books. It's also next to the biggest food pantry in my town, and so a lot of people who go to the food pantry, they'll also stop and get books from the free library. So I'm thinking about putting maybe 1 or 2 of these in here. So let me know which book you guys think that I should keep and which book you guys think that I should pass on to bless someone else. I picked up the Inheritance Games because it looks like it's going to be so good. It says secret passages, elaborate riddles, billions at stake. Avery Grams has a plan for a better future. Survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch, Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery Hawthorne, house is also occupying, Avery Hawthorne house is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Are they gonna try to, like, take her out? Like, I know this is a young adult book, but, like, I'm intrigued. Heir apparent Grayson is convinced that Avery is a con woman and he's determined to take her down, but his brother Jameson views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive. This looks good. This looks good. And also look at the quality. This literally looks like a brand new book. If you do not go thrifting for books, this is your sign to go to a thrift store today. Go to your Salvation Army. Go to your Goodwill, go to a small thrift store that's owned by someone in your town. There are so many good books to be picked up, and I was so surprised by what was in there. I also ended up getting Sarah Dessen's book, and this is called Dreamland. I absolutely loved every single book that Sarah Dessen wrote when I was younger, but I did not read this one. I read Just Listen, and I think I also read Lock and Key, if I remember correctly. I do remember Just Listen was my favorite. This says, love can be a very dangerous thing. After her sister left, Caitlin felt lost. Then she met Rogerson. When she's with him and nothing seems real. But what happens when being with Rogerson becomes a larger problem than being without him? And Sarah Dessen, literally, I feel like her books remind me so much of the vibe of Colleen Hoover, the unhinged, you never know what's gonna happen. Very short chapters. I feel like it's gonna be a good one. She also has a bunch of her books in the front of here. I'm gonna try to see which ones I've read. Okay, so I've actually read a lot of these. I read Just Listen. I also read This Lullaby, Along for the Ride, and I think Lock and Key. So I've read a lot of these books in here, and I wish more authors would do something like this, have pictures with the books and stuff in here, or the books that they have, because sometimes I'll see a title and I'll be like, oh, I don't think I've read that, and then I'll see the picture and be like, oh, I have read that. So I'm excited to read this, and it looks in, again, pristine condition. Literally looks like a brand new book. I cannot get over it. So excited for that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I was thinking about going in the house, but then I was just like, it's too nice. And I know if I go home right now, I'm not coming back out. So I wanted to enjoy the weather out here and just read for a little bit. But the last and final book that I got, oh, you guys can hear me, it's so windy. Oh, this is literally the worst timing. If I had a couple more minutes, I feel like we will be able to run through these really quick without you guys having to hear the wind. But hopefully it's not too bad. The last book that I got is a book I think I'm most excited about out of the entire stack. But let me know which book you guys think that I should bring home. Not the wind coming out to play today. Come on. This is wild. Give me 2 more minutes. But this book right here is very nostalgic. It's very much giving summer, and there also is a TV show that just came out about, from this same author, and it's just a different book. So I wanted to pick up this book, and it is Judy Blume's book, Summer Sisters. Again, this is in incredible condition. I'm going to take the sticker off the front, but this is a New York Times bestseller. This is also a Read with Gemma book, so I feel like it's going to be a great one. I also feel like I need to get this off perfectly, because if I don't, I am going to end up having a bunch of this sticker left on here. These stickers sometimes are really hard to get off, and I feel like there has to be a trick to getting it off perfectly. got it off. Perfect. Okay, that was just like the price sticker, but it actually wasn't even that price. That said $3.99. But I got Judy Blume's Summer Sisters, and I'm so excited to read this one. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm so sorry. On the back, it says, as warm as a summer breeze blowing through your hair, as nostalgic as James Taylor singing How Sweet It Is, you remember, so does Judy Blume, how sweet it was. In the summer of 1977, Victoria Leonard's world changes forever when Caitlin Summers chooses her as a friend. Dazzling, reckless Caitlin welcoming Vix into the heart of her sprawling, eccentric family, opening doors to a world of unimaginable privilege, sweeping her way to vacations on Martha's Vineyard, an enchanting island where the two friends become summer sisters. Now, years later, Vix is working in New York City. Caitlin is getting married on the vineyard. It's funny because the book I was talking about that turned into a show is Forever, and it's by Judy Blume, and I think that's also a book where they go to like Martha's Vineyard, I think. And it says, now years later, Vix is working in New York City. Caitlin is getting married on the vineyard, and the early magic of their long, complicated friendship has faded. But Caitlin begs Vix to come to her wedding, to be her maid of honor, and Vix knows that she will go because she wants to understand what happened during that last shattering summer. And after all these years, she needs to know why her best friend, her summer sister, still had the power to break her heart. This looks incredible. It looks like such a great summer read, and I feel like I've been wanting to read more books about friendship. Like, obviously I love reading like romance books and stuff, but as I've gotten older, like, friendships to me are so vital to like my happiness, to my joy, to like what I want my future to look like, and I feel like reading books that highlight that is gonna be really great. So these are the 3 books that I picked up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more book or more videos like this where I go thrifting, comment below, but also comment below which book you think I should get. I'm gonna leave like little numbers next to each book. So this is gonna be book number 1, The Inheritance Games, book number 2, Dreamland by Sarah Dessen, and book number 3, The Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. Now only pick 1 or 2 maybe. I prefer 1 because I want to like add up and see how many people choose like 1, 2, or 3, and then that'll help me decide, because I feel like you guys know my taste really well. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. There's always new videos 2 days a week, so I'll see you guys again on Saturday. Bye guys!